Let's wait for this car to go by as I do my intro. Shalom, 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 brothers and sisters. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This your brother YAH. Shalom, 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 brothers and sisters. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This your brother YAH. And I haven't done a video in a while. There's been a lot going on in the media today as it pertains to the prophecies that the Most High has given with regards to Israel and with regards to the land of Israel and the world at large. Now, what I want to do is, I got so much I want to talk about, I want to discuss today. And so I'm going to kind of try to cover a lot of things. And I'm going to take my time, but I'm going to kind of try to not to be so redundant or what have you, or just be slow. But I want to kind of try to deal with some things where prophecy is concerned and where we are. Okay. Now, incidentally, where I am located right now is the eastern shore of Maryland, the county of Kent, where I grew up at, where most of my family came into this part of the world via the transatlantic slave trade, etc., settled in the eastern shore of Maryland. And much of the land that you see, like right now, is a creek. This is called Still Pond Creek. And much of the water land that's around here was settled originally by people of color that came into this county. And through the political process, I should say, a lot of the land was taken from our ancestors who first had it in this land, because they were free people in Kent County for a long time before the Emancipation Proclamation. And these were actually family members of mine. I'm not going to go into great detail as far as who my family is and all of that. I'm going to be producing that in a book. So if you're interested in knowing about my ancestry in this state and county, be looking out for the book that's going to come out. I'm going to do a book and detail that. But in the meantime, I want to talk about, let me make this disclaimer first because somebody might see this video, and right now, currently, I'm not self-employed. I'm working for someone else. And you have a lot of hateful people out there that will say all kinds of things, false accusations. I was accused one time of being racist because I speak the truth out of the Bible, just simply reading the Bible and detailing the things that are in the Bible. Okay, so that makes me a racist. And this actual person tried to get me fired from not even really a high-paying job I was working. It was just something I was doing to offer services back to the community and to meet the needs. But this person found out through his research, because we know Gentiles are connected. They have a way of finding out who you work for, where you live, in the whole 9 yards. If they want to find you, they can find you, right? So I don't know who the person was. The person didn't have good intentions, because apparently they didn't come to me. They went to try to do me in, not realizing that they couldn't do me in, because the people that viewed the videos that I posted, and I just happened to post the video on private property, public private property, I should say. So they were offended. They were trying to say that, you know, because I was driving the school bus, that, you know, I was racist and this, that, and the other. But anyway, make a long story short, the person that I reported to for the county watched the videos and said he didn't see anything in my videos that was racist. And for that matter, you will never find anything in any of my videos that is racist. Now, you might try to twist it around and try to say it's racist because you don't like what I'm saying or how it's presented, but you cannot say I'm a racist, because I love all people. As a matter of fact, the more I do my research in my genealogy, I find out that there are white people, and there's really no such thing as white and black. And that's a whole nother misnomer, something that was created by the system to keep a system of control. But be that as it may, I have people in my family that what the world calls white and black in my ancestral lineage. A lot of my ancestors were listed in the census, in many census, as being mulattoes. So what is a mulatto? If you don't know what a mulatto is, then I admonish you to research the word mulatto and find out. So for me to be racist against white people is ridiculous, because I would be racist against my own people that is in my lineage, whether it was by choice or whether it was by force, who knows. But the reality of the matter is that I have both sides in my family. Does that make me a Gentile? Does that make me Edomite? No, on my paternal side. And even at that, let me just say this here for clarity. For the Hebrews that are on this bash, that if your father wasn't a Hebrew, you're not a Hebrew. Listen, anybody that wants to come under the covenant of Israel, whether they are a Hebrew or not, whether they are black, white, or whatever they are, can come under the covenant of Israel, because that's what the Most High ordained for all creation to come under through the auspices of the nation of Israel, the physical nation of Israel, who rejected the Most High and his law, statutes, and commandments, which is why we ended up in the lands of captivity, aka America, the transatlantic slave trade routes, and all over the world, because the scripture is clear about how Israel will be scattered to the four corners, north, south, east, and west. The slave ship routes went from north, south, east, west, all over. It went everywhere. It didn't just go in one particular location, right? So if you are under the impression that because a person may have had some mixing of another ethnic group in their bloodline, that doesn't make them an Israelite, let me give you something what the Most High said with regards to that subject. Okay, let's go to well, we're going to go to Jeremiah. Okay, we're going to go to Yirmiyahu or Jeremiah. We're going to read something here in Yirmiyahu or Jeremiah that's going to bring some understanding to the mixing of the seed, right? Now, give me a second here. I'm going to pull up my app. The sun is very bright, so I have my shades on for that purpose only. I'm not trying to hide my identity. I have no problems revealing my identity. I'm not secretive about what I believe and what I teach out of the word of the Most High. I don't care who sees it, employer or employee, whatever the case is. The Most High is my provision. I don't need a job. He will provide for me. If a person wants to fire me or disqualify me because of me teaching a level of truth, then the Father will provide my own, because I come from a family that had their own businesses anyway. Okay. So just let that fall on the ears that need to hear it. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to hide my identity. I have no problem revealing who I am. Okay. Now, so let me get back to, so I want to deal with this in clarity. Now, I'm going to kind of just talk about some things, because I particularly am going to be very abstract in what I'm going to share today, because the Most High, I'm going to let the Most High give me what to say as I say it, because I want to be effective and not be predictable. Okay. Now, so what I want to do is I want to look at this verse in Jeremiah, right? See if I can pull it out here. And find it. Okay. Okay, so I was wrong. It's not Jeremiah or Yirmiyahu, but it is Yechezkel, or what the world commonly calls Ezekiel. Okay. Now we're going to read Ezekiel 14 and 13. I'm going to read it from the Ezekiel 14 and 13, or Yechezkel 14 and 13. I'm going to read it from, I have here, let me just get that first before I lose my thought here. 14 and 13. Okay. I have here, this is the Holy Scriptures. I had this book for probably 10 or 15 years. I got this book when the Most High dealt with me, and I'll say this very briefly. And the Most High told me through an audible voice that I was an Israelite. And he told me to study Israel, to study the people of Israel, and that this book would open up to me, it would unfold to me, and that I would be able to have clarity and understanding of what this book is all about. See, a lot of people will throw this book away because they don't understand the book, because they haven't gotten a revelation of what this book is. So oftentimes we find people who say, well, I used to be a Hebrew Israelite, or I used to be in the religion of the Hebrew Israelites. Well, that person, my friend, never had the revelation of this book and of the end times as far as who we are. Satan has deceived many people to believe that Hebrew Israelite is a religion, when in fact a Hebrew Israelite is just a people that was called with a specific calling, with a specific task, and with a specific duty. Okay, I'm going to cover that in a minute, but let me just read this first for those that are watching and say, well, brother, you know, I don't believe, you know, your father. We're going to deal with all of this, right? Okay, all right. So now we're going to read Ezekiel, what I say, 14, 13. Is that what I said? Let me just double check my math here. Let's let the word speak. Let's not deal with what people say. Yes. Yechezkel or Ezekiel 14 and 13. People can say anything, but let's deal with what the Most High says, right? So I said 14 and 13, right? Okay. Yechezkel 14 and 13, and it reads as follows. Let's start at verse. Let's start at verse 1. I'm going to exegesic this thing. And, you know, the reason why many of us have embraced or have fallen for the Mickey in the drink is because we don't read line upon line, precept upon precept. We take a verse out, pop it out, and make it useful what we want to use it for. We twist and tie them together, as what Shimon Kefa said about Shaul. People that are unstable take and twist the word to their own destruction. So we want to be in the habit, brothers and sisters, of reading the word of the Most High in its entirety, in its proper text, in its proper context, and where it's relevant to where it's relevant. So let's start at verse 1, and we're going to read, looking at verse 13, 14 is where I want to be, okay? It says, then came certain of the elders of Israel unto me and sat before me. And the word of YAH came unto me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up their idols in their heart and put stumbling blocks of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired of at all by them? Okay. So we have a lot of people, brothers and sisters, just dealing with this a letter upon line. We have a lot of people, a lot of those who are so-called conscious or awakened Israelites that are putting stumbling blocks in front of the children of Israel. Just because they got the label Hebrew Israelite does not make them authentic and mean that they are telling the truth, right? Anybody can jump on the bandwagon and say, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And so now people say, oh, they must be legit because they're Hebrew Israelite. There are a lot of Hebrew Israelites that are not legit, brothers and sisters. And I want to say this too. There are a lot of Hebrew Israelites that have gotten older and are set, and they have fallen for a traditional teaching versus a standing wholly upon the word of the Most High, right? Okay, that's the reason why when you ask questions to some, I had a dear precious sister who may see this video, attends a congregation where the pastor is older, or the leader of the congregation is in his 80s or so. And so when she goes to ask him questions, he feels like she's challenging him and don't want to address the questions. Let me say this here. Any teacher that can't be questioned or challenged is not led by the Most High. When you can't be questioned or challenged, you are operating under a spirit of witchcraft, under a spirit of control, right? The Most High didn't make us to be witches and warlocks. We're called to be priests under Him, under the Most High, okay? That's where our priesthood should come from. It should come from under the Most High, not based on who appointed me or who sent me. The Most High is the one that sends you, and this is the measuring stick that we use to prove all things that the Most High told us to prove through what he says, not by what I have been practicing for 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever years, but through what the Most High said by using his manual as a guide for truth, right? This is the only truth. I may say something that may not be truthful, right? Another Moreh may say something that may not be truthful, but this book right here, brothers and sisters, in its unwatered down, untampered version, and I don't mean the King James English, I mean in its true essence of the word, in the trueness of the original language. That's why when we study, we don't just look at the English words. We look at the words from the modern Hebrew, which gives us some understanding. And then those that get deeper, go look at the ancient or the paleo form of the text, right? Let me get back now. Okay, so I done went way out there, but I just wanted to kind of address that and lay that out there for those who may be watching this, who may see this, to understand. Every teacher is not authentic because they got the label Hebrew Israelite on them. As a matter of fact, some Hebrews, let me say this here while I'm there, some Hebrews have just taken their religious affiliation and brought it into this walk and have incorporated parts of their religious background, whether it be Christianity, whether it be Islam, or whatever the case might be. They've taken all of that and have brought that into this way of life, and has added confusion to the matter because they're teaching people on the basis of what they believe is true based on their experience and their previous experience that they are bringing into this walk, which is adding more confusion, right? Okay. No Israelite is 100% right, including myself. I may say things that I may try to be right, but this book is right. Okay. I may read something and read into something. Preferably I won't do that, but a real man or woman that's been sent by Yah will admit that I'm a human being. I'm subject to make a mistake. I may be, this word is infallible, but I am a mortal man, and I may sometimes falter when I'm sharing something out of the Most High's word. But don't hold that to me, you know, charge it to my head and not to my heart, because it's not my intention to be wrong or to teach wrong. And probably that should be every Moreh's focus, is that it's not my intention to mislead you, but I want to lead you truthfully into the truth. Right. So what has happened amongst Israel is, amongst Ibrahim, I use that, is that it's become a popularity contest to see who can get the most people following them on YouTube, or who can get the most people to follow them on the social media, who got the most people following them on Twitter or whatever the social media is. Right. OK, this should not be a popularity contest, brothers and sisters. With 10 people viewing or 100,000 people viewing, the Most High is going to have that remedy to view this. It may not be in the Most High's plan for you to have 80,000 followers on YouTube. Okay? Because you could be saying something that's wrong and have led 80,000 people wrong. Right? And sometimes we equate success with numbers when the Most High doesn't equate success with numbers. He looks at the thing on the basis of what he has called us to, right? Some people, the Most High didn't call to lead 100,000 people on YouTube. Some people, the Most High just called to reach out to 10 or 15 or 20 people on YouTube that may be faithful people who subscribe to the channel, who listen to the teachings, who listen to what the Most High has to say through his word, and not through that person that's on the video talking for an hour or 2 or 3 hours, just repeating what he believes versus what the word of the Most High says, right? I can be wrong all day long, but this book is right all the time. Remember that. Now, you might not like me, and preferably I hope you would like me, but if you don't like me, this book is right all the time, right? Okay? That's all I'm saying. It's not about a popularity contest, not about me being right, being wrong. We ought to know right from wrong. Any person that is teaching you against the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, I don't care if they got 200,000 people following them, right? I used to beat and bash, and I haven't been on posted any videos lately, but this brother named Omar Tabo, right? And people say, well, you must be jealous of him. No, I'm not jealous of him. As a watchman, I have a responsibility to warn Israel. Okay? So out of the however many subscribers he may have to his channel, maybe one out of them is going to hear it and say, you know, brother, that's true. That's right. He is teaching against the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Saying we're under a new covenant, right? That's all we're saying. I could care less how many followers you have. It's not putting no money in my pocket. You know, this is not a popularity contest. I'm not seeking for popularity. If I was, I wouldn't be doing this. That's for sure. Okay, but anyway, let me get back to where I was. So, prayerfully, you got something out of what I just said there. Now, let's get back to what I was trying to point out for those that haters. And people will come onto the video. This video is not for you. You know, people come and after 5 minutes, they have a stupid, foolish comment. Brother, you talking long. Why don't you get to the point? Well, this video is not for you. Just move on and have a good day, right? For those that had the patience and want to hear what the Most High has to say to them by viewing this video, then you come to the right place, okay? You're always going to have those people that's going to pick and choose, that's going to try to nitpick and try to say his brother wrong. You know what? People like you, the Most High said he gonna sift us, right? You just might be one of the ones that get sifted, right? All right, let me get back. So, Yechezkel 14 says that, son of man, these men, this is verse 3, these men have set up their idols in their heart and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired of at all by them? Therefore, he says, speak to them thus, says YAH, Elohim, Eloheinu, every man of the house of Israel that setteth up his idols in his heart. See that? Because we got people, their camp is their idol. If you're not a part of my camp, you got to be a part of this camp. You set up an idol. Your camp is your idol. Your Moreh is your idol. Your teacher is your idol. Your pastor is your idol. Whoever that person is that you worship, oh, that's my teacher. There's nothing wrong with learning. We learn from people all the time. I learn from everybody. But when you make that person an idol as if they can't be wrong because, oh, I'm part of this camp and this is the right camp, then you've made that person an idol. He said, therefore speak to them and say unto them, thus says YAH Eloheinu, every man of the house of Israel that setteth up his idols, the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and cometh to the prophet, I, YAH, will answer him that cometh according to the multitude of his idols, right? Watch this now. According to the multitude of his idols, that I may take the house of Israel in their own heart, right? I may take the house of Israel in their own heart, okay? Because they are all estranged from me through their idols, right? Like I said, your Moreh, your camp, your pastor, your preacher is an idol. The Most High is against that. Don't make these people idols, right? Don't even try to make me an idol. I'm not an idol. I'm just a servant of the Most High, here to share what the Most High gives me to share, right? I'm not looking for the masses and multitude of followers. I'm a voice crying in the wilderness. Whoever hears, whoever the Most High has directed to hear, those are those who will hear, okay? Now, he says, therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith YAH, repent and turn yourselves from your idols and turn away your faces from all your abominations. So the Most High calls that abomination. All these camps that you set up, all these Morehs or Moreen, these leaders, these teachers that you set up before the Most High that cannot be wrong and everybody else is wrong, the Most High said, repent. Repent, right? Repent. He says, repent. Watch this now. Okay. And turn yourselves from your idols and turn away your faces from all your abominations. For every one of the house of Israel, he says, every one of the house of Israel, read it again, every one of the house of Israel, right? Or of the stranger that sojourneth in Israel. Hey, not just the physical Israelite, but the sojourner that, watch what he says, the sojourner, the stranger that sojourneth in Israel, which separate himself from me, right? And setteth up his idols in his heart, and put the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and cometh to a prophet to enquire. See that? So you got the stranger that is sojourning, that is doing it, and you got the natural born physical Israelite that is doing it, setting up idols, and the Most High is not pleased. Okay? So he says, and cometh to a prophet to inquire of him concerning me. I, Yahweh, will answer him by myself. Okay, let's continue. This is verse 8. I will set my face against that man, and will make him a sign and a proverb, and I will cut him off from the midst of my people. And you shall know that I am Yahweh. Verse 9. And if a prophet be deceived when he have spoken a thing, I, Yahweh, have deceived that prophet. And I will stretch out my hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. So you see what the Most High said? He said, I, him, the Most High, will deceive. Let's read it again. He said, I, Yahweh, have deceived that prophet. And if a prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, Yahweh, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. Okay? Verse 10. And they shall bear the punishment, right, of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him. See that? So the prophet is going to be punished, and the people that seeking the prophet is going to be punished. So the Most High ain't going to spare anybody. He is not going to spare anyone. Okay? If you like that. Verse 11. That the house of Israel may go no more astray from me, neither be polluted anymore with all their transgressions, right? But that they may be my people, right? And I may be their Elohim, right? Says Yahweh Eloheinu, right? The word of Yahweh came unto me saying, okay? Let me just pause for a second, because the Most High says some powerful things. This idolatry has got to stop, brothers and sisters. I'm right. Anybody that's not a part of my camp is wrong. It's idolatry. The Most High is sick of it, right? He's fed up with it. He's going to deal with these prophets who are prophet lying in their own name, in the name of their camp. Okay? Now, verse 12. This is where we was going. The word of Yahweh came unto me saying, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out my hand upon it, and will break the staff of the bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. You see that? So the Most High is not playing. He said he's going to bring judgment against these people who have grievously trespassed against him. He's going to stretch out his hand. And when he stretch out his hand, you know how what that means, stretching out your hand? You know, you ever swat at a fly, and that fly is just bothering you? All of a sudden, you hit that fly, bam, and that fly gets killed. That's what the Most High is stretching out his hand going to do. Stretch out that hand, whack. He gonna kill you. All right. I'm just saying. Verse 14. Though these three men, Noah, Daniel or Daniel, and Job or Job, were in it, they should never, but their own souls by their righteousness have Yahweh Eloheinu. Okay. Now,